Hello everybody. Today we are working on linear inequalities and problem solving. I will explain linear inequalities and how do we graph them, and then we can go for problem solving, which is like word problems and how we solve them in inequality. Okay, so what is linear inequalities? I will talk about a solution of linear inequality first. A solution of an inequality is a value of the variable. That makes the inequality a true statement. Okay, I just want to make sure that you understand inequality. When you have inequality sign, we have to be careful that if they're making the statement true or not. Okay, how do I graph inequalities now? If I have x greater equal 3, and that's my example A, so I'm going to draw a line right there. It's not on scale, and it's positive 3. So for example, I have 0 here, and I have 1, 2, and 3. It's a 1, and this one is negative 1, and this is negative 2, and then negative 3. If it's 3, then, and you know, when you have this greater equal, this equal, the dash line, then it means you have a closed circle. So I know I have a closed circle right there on 3, but where I'm going, left or right, that's exactly why I tell my students always read from the variable side. Read from the variable. You know, in this case my variable is x, from the variable side. So this is my variable. If I start from this side, then I'll start reading x greater than 3. You know, alligator mouth is towards 3, so it's greater or equal 3. Greater means always goes to the right. So if it says greater, you go to the right. If it says less, then you go to the left. Okay, so x greater equal 3, that's how I'm reading it, and greater means I'm gonna go to the right, and it's supposed to go in this direction. So that's how my graph's supposed to look like for this. Now let's go back for B example. This one said x is less than negative 3. Again, I'm gonna draw a line, and I'll make sure less than negative 3. So I have 0, I have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and up here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and my number line is not on scale. Okay, so it's a negative 3, and you can see it's open circle because I don't have the dash thingy there. So it's open circle on negative 3. That's my negative 3, and I'm gonna make open circle here. Open circle right there. Now I'm gonna read from the variable side. X less, you know, in another video I told you that this corner means less. So I'm going to go less than negative 3, which means I'm going to go left. Like I said, less means left. So that's how your graph's supposed to look like. Okay. Then we're going to solve some inequality equations. Inequality equations is the same way we solve regular equations, The only thing is, I'm going to write it down here. For example, if you're multiplying, please write down in your notebook, multiplying or dividing by a negative number, then switch the inequality sign. Okay, switch inequality sign means like if my inequality sign is in this direction, then you're going to move it to that one. That's what I meant by switching inequality sign. Okay, so let's do some examples here. I have example, I have x minus 4 less than 9, and they said graph the solution. And they said solve. Okay, so I'm going to solve this like a regular equation. For example, in regular equation, if you guys remember the 3 steps, first I have to remove or clear fractions by multiplying least common denominator, clear parentheses by distributing property, and then combine like terms. In this one, I don't have anything. And in inequality, you're just gonna add this step, multiplying, dividing by a negative number, switch the inequality sign. So I don't have fractions or parentheses, I'm just combining like terms. So 4 and 9 are like terms, and since 4 is jumping over this inequality sign, or you can consider this like an equal, opposite operation has to be there. So I'm gonna go add 4 both sides, cancel, then I have x less than 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, less than 13. So draw a number line, and since they want us to graph it, so I'm going to draw a number line. For example, I'm starting with 9. I have 10, 11, 12, 13, and I have 14, and I have 15. Okay, now they said 13, so this is 13, and I'm going to make sure that it's an open circle because we don't have an equal there. Now I'm going to read from the variable side. I'm going to read from the variable side x less than 13. You see the corner is less? So less means I'm going to the left. So this whole graph is going to go to the left. That's how would you graph these equations. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's do the hard ones kinda. Okay, now another example that I have solve 7x minus 2 plus x greater than negative 4, 5 minus x minus 12. Now again, like I said, the inequality is we're gonna solve them like an equation. So clear the fractions, I don't have them, so ignore that step. Clear the parentheses, I have to clear the parentheses using a distributive property. So my distributive property in this case means I have to multiply positive 7 with positive x, positive 7 with negative 2 first. So let's multiply them first. I have positive 7 times positive x will give me 7x. Positive 7 times negative 2 will give me 14 negative, because positive times negative is negative. And this plus x is going to stay as it is, and inequality sign stays. Then I am going to multiply the negative 4 with the positive 5, negative 4 with positive 5, and negative 4 with negative x. So I'm going to go back, multiply negative 4 with positive 5. So positive times negative is negative 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Negative 4 times the negative x is going to give me positive 4x, because negative times negative is positive. And I usually multiply my signs in my head, like I just do the signs first and then the variable or a number. Minus 12 stays. Distribution is done, then we have to combine like terms. So for like terms, if you guys pay attention, 7x and x are like terms, 4x is like term, but this 4x is on the other side of inequality. So let's leave this alone for a minute and solve these two first. So 7 plus 1x, there is invisible 1 right there. 7 plus 1x will give me 8x. Minus 14 is going to stay, equal stay. Now this 4x, I'm going to leave it, but I do have like terms for negative 20 and negative 12. These are my another like terms which are on the same side. So negative 20, negative 12, and also I have negative 14, but I'm not touching negative 14 right now. I'll just do the same sides first. Make it easy on yourself, guys, step by step. Negative 20 and negative 12 will give me 32, negative 32, plus 4x. Now, do I have more like terms? Yes, we do. Those are 8x and 4x. Now I don't have a choice because I have to move one of them to the other side of inequality. So since I like my variables on the left side, so I'm going to move the 4x, which means you are going to subtract 4x. You subtract 4x. So it will give me 8 subtract 4. They are like terms, so I can solve them. I'm going to go here. I can solve them, and it will give me 8 subtract 4 will give me 4x. Minus 14, it's still there, and minus 32. And this one cancel out. Okay, now my like terms are 14 and 32. And since they are on the opposite side of inequality, I have to move them. I have to move one of them to the other side of inequality. So which one I should move, since I like my variable on the left, so I'm going to move the 14. So add 14 both sides because that's what the opposite operation is for 14. I got 4x equal 456 and 446. To make the x by itself, divide 4. You know, every time we move or jump over the inequality or equal, it means I have to use opposite operation. So 4 cancel out, and x is greater than 46 divide by 4. If we use a calculator for this, make it simpler, 46 divide by 4 will give me that 11.5. I think I did not make a mistake. 4x minus 14. I think this is negative 32. I'm sorry. That's negative 32. I knew I made a mistake somewhere. So my answer, 32 subtract 14. 32 subtract 14 will give me 18. So this is gone. And I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I was thinking. So this is right there. And then I have 32, so that would be negative 18, and I'm dividing 4 both sides. So the answer is x greater than, and the answer is divide by 2, top and bottom. So I got negative 9/2. Now, if I'm graphing this, for example, I'm not going to write down the whole thing, or I'm not changing into decimals, but I do know the negative 9/2 would be somewhere here. If you could divide 9/2 by changing it into a fraction, which is 4.5. So it's negative 4.5. So I'm going to say that's 0, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Since and this is negative 5. So 4.5 is going to be somewhere here. So I'm going to go negative 4.5. It's right here, and it's open circle, completely open circle. And I'm reading from the variable side, x greater than negative 9/2, which means I'm going to the right. So that's how you guys solve that problem. Now let me erase some of my stuff so I can go further. Okay, the whiteboard eraser is kind of nice. It's getting bigger when you do that. Okay, let's go back to another question. I have solved 3x plus 4 greater than 3x plus 5. Now again, I'm going to do the distributive property. It's positive 3. So positive 3 positive x will give me positive 3x. If I do positive 3 and positive 4 multiply, then it's going to give me positive 12 greater than 3x plus 5. Now 12 and 5 are like terms, so I'm going to move the 12 first. Subtract 12 both sides, subtract 12 both sides. Cancel, cancel. I got 3x greater than 3x. 12 and 5 will give me what? Negative 12 subtract 5 will give me 7, negative 7. Now 3x and 3x are my like terms. Yeah, so subtract 3x and subtract 3x. You know it's going to cancel out, so I have 0 greater than negative 7. You know that's a false statement. This is not true. 0 is not greater than negative 7. When that's the case, then you know no, that's a true statement, because 0 is greater than negative 7. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's a true statement. So that's a true statement, which means for all the trace, so for all values of x, so this inequality and the original inequality are true, T-R-U-E, true for all numbers. So all real numbers are the solution in this case. Okay, so let's do one word problem back there. Okay, they said, and this is a problem solving, this is inequality, because when you read it, you can tell this is inequality. A salesperson earned $800 per month plus a commission of 25% of sales. Find the minimum amount of sales needed to receive a total income of at least, this means at least $1,800 per month. So at least is what we can understand that means inequality. So I'm going to translate this, and I'm going to say 800 per month, so that's 800. I'm writing as an equation, plus a commission of 25% of sales. The commission is 25% of sales. So do I know how much he sold the stuff? No, I don't. So I'm going to keep the sales, and off means multiplication. Always change the percent into a decimal, so I'm going to change it to 0.26, and I would say sales is X, that I don't know, and off means multiply. Off means multiply. Because I need to know the percent of something, so it's a sales. And then they said at least, which means 1,800. At least means this is receiver income. This is an income. Like 800 is per month plus that's the commission. So that's the income, that's that person income. And if I'm translating it correctly, he said needed to receive a total income of at least, like he can earn more than 1800 or equal 1800, but he's not going to go down 1800. So that's why I have greater and equal for 1800, and this is the income. And if I would do this correctly, I would go for like something like what they're asking me. So the question is asking a total income of at least 1800. So I will translate this first. So I would say, okay, income at least $1,800, like he can earn more than 1800 or he can earn less than 1800. I mean equal 1800 but not less than 1800. So, and what is his income? $1,800 in a commission. So that's how the equation should look like. So if we're solving this, because they are asking for the minimum amount of sale, like how much he should sell the stuff that he can get $1,800 at least. I'm going to subtract 800 because these are 18 and 800 are my like terms. Cancel out. I got 0.25x greater or equal 1000 when I subtract, and I'm going to divide 0.25. And remember, I'm dividing positive number. Remember, in inequality, if you're dividing by negative or by a positive, by negative, dividing and multiplying by negative, then we have to switch the inequality sign. But since this is positive, we are not doing anything. 0.25. This is cancelled, then x is greater or equal 1000 divided by 0.25 will give me 4000. So it means he needs to have $4,000 sale. Like he has to have a $4,000 sale. So it's greater than 4,000 or maybe just equal $4,000, then he will get $1,800 income, total income. So any questions, guys, you let me know, and make sure that subscribe and like my channel. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I will try my best to answer your questions. Have a good day and bye.